Hey, what's up, James? Jamie, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm coming at you guys with another D&D type story video. Because I posted one a while ago, which was how I started role playing, and you guys seem to really like that. You guys seem to really want some more of these style videos. You know, you guys seem to really love my RPG reading series, which, by the way, will be coming back very soon. I promise. I've just had trouble looking for modules to read off of and thinking of actual stories. But I decided, since I've been hit my mic again. I'm really bad at doing that. But I decided, since I've had trouble looking for actual modules to read off of, whether it be Deadlands or D&D or anything else, I've decided to add. And I believe I said this in my first episode of the RPG readings, where I would talk about stories that happened during my during D&D sessions or my Deadlands sessions that I run, and just interesting stuff like that. Because if you guys don't know, I'm playing a completely different D&D session with a completely new GM online. I play that every Sunday. And every other weekend, like this weekend, I will be actually playing Deadlands as a character, not as the GM. And then I run my own GM. I GM my own Deadlands sessions. And this story is going to be coming from from one of my Deadlands sessions. And it's an interesting story. It's not really the funniest story, but it's a very interesting story because I've never seen this happen in my entire time playing Deadlands, which has been I've been running Deadlands for 2 years now, and I've been playing Deadlands pretty much since I've been gaming. So 5 or 6 years. So if you hear that, that's just my microphone. That's my keyboard in the back. But yeah. So this story comes from my first ever Deadlands session that I ran. And if you guys don't know, it's a combination of my first and second Deadlands stories because they kind of go together. But before I get into the story, let me tell you who's in my group. I've got Luck and I've got T from the Idiot Gaming Corps. Also, Vlad from the Idiot Gaming Corps, kind of, sort of. He also has his own channel that he hasn't posted anything on in a while. If you're watching this, dude, fucking post shit. But yeah, I've got Vlad, T, and Luck over from the Idiot Gaming Corps. You guys have seen me play with T and Luck constantly. And then I've got I believe his YouTube channel name is Leon Senpai. Dumbass name, right? Dude, if you're watching this, I love you, but it's a weird ass name. And I'm sorry if I offended any of you anime nerds out there, but it's a weird name. But yeah, it's comprised of those guys and a few more people. There's Smart Sandwich, which you guys may or may not remember if you're a new subscriber. Ow, I just hit my arm on my desk. That fucking hurt. But the Smart Sandwich, if you guys remember him from one of my first vlogs, I think it's I think vlog number 3, and it's an 11-minute vlog where me and him just walk around our neighborhood. And then Mr. Togetic, who also hasn't uploaded a fucking video in a while. Dude, if you're watching this, upload some videos. I almost said some fucking shit, but I mean your videos are shit. Just saying, I'm not gonna lie, I love you, dude. Don't hate me. I made your fucking intro, but anyways, yeah, it's comprised of us, but at this time, it was in this first session, Mr. Togetic was not in there. Oh yeah, Magic Thunder's in our group too, but I've only run the game with him once. But in this session, it was Leon, Smart Sandwich, Luck, and T. They were all playing in the game as their characters. Luck has a character. It's pretty much a brick wall. I mean, in Deadlands, you can actually put occupation brick wall, and I will put a picture of the the character sheet in right now. Boop. And yeah, as you can see in the top left of that character sheet, there is actually a there's actually an occupation, and in that occupation he put brick wall. And his character's name is Ryan Brick. So he's the strongest character in the group, and he's a melee character. It's really fucking weird. But his character seems to have a habit of shooting people in the left legs. And the first session we had, like I said, it was those four: Leon, Smart Sandwich, Luck, and T. They were playing, and they all met each other in the same town, which I called Coalburg, because that was the starting town, and it was a mining town where they normally mined coal. And the first major thing that happened was that it was weird because there's power armor in the game, right? And you can acquire this power armor by certain means. It's mostly illegal means, but there's really no laws in Deadlands, but it's like black market type of stuff and whatnot. And it's really weird and complicated, and I don't really implement it in the game. But this is where the first like inside joke of our game group came in. Was there were 3 people in power armor, and I, being the complete and total idiot that I am, put 2 different types of security forces in there. I literally said that they are, because it takes place in the United States, Deadlands most of the time at least, and they were in the state of Oklahoma. And I said that these 3 members were the last 3 remaining members of the Oklahoma State Security Force Army. Yeah, the Oklahoma... Just let that sink in for a second. The Oklahoma State Security Force Army. I pretty much just said that they are bodyguard. They are an arm. They're bodyguards within the army of Oklahoma too. Don't forget that. It's the Oklahoma State Security Force Army. Like not for the rest of the country. No, just for Oklahoma. Like what the? I don't know where I'm getting this, but yeah, I said that, and they all roasted me for it. But they went and they talked to the mayor, and the mayor of Coalburg, and the mayor said that they had a house in the town, but every time they sent some guards in there, they never came back out, and they could only assume that they were dead. Well, he hired the heroes of the game, which are my game group. They hired them to go and clear out the house, and if they could clear out the house would be theirs, and they wouldn't have to pay any land tax on it or anything, as long as they kept doing those jobs. But that's like later on. So they accepted the quest, and they go into this house, and they find 2 people laying on the ground, which they assumed were thieves. But whoops, hit my mic again. But they assumed they were thieves. So they went in and they released them, but they couldn't get out of the house without being killed. So what had happened was, what they figured out was that every time somebody tried to leave the house, they were getting taken and drugged upstairs to the top floor and being killed up there, basically. And they found numerous other people in there. They found 2 guards that survived. They found another thief in the basement. And it's this whole it's like this weird thing that I put into the game, and they seem to like it a lot. But they made a lot of allies through that, and they forged this plan where they knew the thing was coming from upstairs. So what they did was they set up the trap. They all lined up in the hallway with their weapons and had somebody try to leave the house. So they had one of the thieves try to leave the house, because if they died, they didn't really give a shit. So they had one of the thieves try to leave the house, and when the thing ran down, they noticed that it was this thing called a blood wolf. And if I can find a picture here, I'll put it up on the screen there right now. Boop. And but if I can't, I'll describe it for you anyways. The blood wolf is pretty much a mix between a werewolf and a vampire. It's got the body of a wolf, of a werewolf, but it's got the bloodlust of a vampire. And it's like, I don't know, it's weird, but it's a really dangerous and powerful thing. So what had happened was it it started running down the stairs, and T has this revolver, which we call a hand cannon, because in the first shot fired from his hand cannon, well, from that revolver, was it took in damage in Deadlands is done by wounds. If you do 5 wounds to a limb, the limb is pretty much gone or useless. I said whim, but the limb is pretty much gone or useless, and you can't use it anymore. With his first shot, he did 5 wounds to its arm, rendering its arm useless. And then everybody else fired a bunch of shots into it, and they beat the shit out of this blood wolf pretty easily, which I was surprised myself. But so they kill it, and then they are all able to leave the house. And so the mayor comes up to them and basically tells them they can keep the house and they won't have to pay any taxes for it. As like an act, like that's their reward, but as a like token of their gratitude for clearing out such a dangerous animal, the mayor also said that they would give them a bunch of furniture for free to move into the house, and they would have some people go up there and clear out all the dead bodies in the upstairs. They don't know how much was up there exactly, but they can assume it was a lot. But yeah, so they accepted the offer, and the mayor asked them to go on a supply run for them. Because part of the deal was as long as they continue to run jobs for Kohlberg, once requested and if doable, they would not have to pay taxes on the land that they own. So the mayor asks them to go on a supply run, and so they do it. And this supply run was supposed to take them to a storage unit, like it's I think it's sort of a U-Haul type deal, like storage unit space. Like U-Haul rents out for people and whatnot, one of those things, and they're supposed to go to it and collect supplies. Well, on their way there, they ended Luck failed his vigor check, which is pretty much like it's pretty much like your fortitude in D&D, but he failed his vigor check, and he ended up needing to go to the bathroom really bad because it was like a 10-hour trip there. Well, I wouldn't say 10-hour trip. It was like a 4 or 5 hour trip there, and he had to he had to go to the bathroom really bad. So they stopped to let him take a piss, and out of nowhere they get a knife thrown at them, and they can't see where it is. So what they do is, but there's only one person that could see where it was coming from, and that was T. He went up and scouted ahead, and he saw these black cloaks like running through the forest, and what he did was that like a fight ensued. There was knives thrown, shots fired. T actually shot one of the cloaked figures in the gut. And to his surprise, it was a kid. Like, the kid was no more than, 12 years old. Like, 10, 12 years old. So, he killed it, and he had the bloodthirsty trait. So, the kid wasn't dead, but he might as well have been dead from the first shot, because once T found him, he shot him again in the head and killed the poor kid. So, that was an interesting thing. And that kid turned out to have some form of importance, afterwards, but that's a whole nother story if you guys want me to tell you that. But, but there was a second kid, and they didn't know that, T was the only one who pretty much knew it was a kid. But once Luck saw the cloaked figure, saw the kid, but he didn't know it was a kid, it was just a cloaked figure, Luck beat the shit out of this kid. I wouldn't say beat the shit out of... Well, no, the kid... Scratch that. That was wrong. The kid went around to Luck's truck, and Luck's truck was actually like Luck's truck was chilling on the side of the highway, well, the side of the road, and there was like a motorcycle or two behind them because that's what everybody else was driving. So Luck was chilling was hanging out by his truck after taking a piss, and this kid runs around and runs right into Luck and gets scared shitless. Well, that's when Leon's character decides to come up and just beat the shit out of this kid, because it turned out Leon's character was hunting the kid's father. And this kid's father was like some big deal or whatever, and he was started to kill him. But it turned out the kid was that guy's kid. And so Leon just beat the shit out of him. If Luck wasn't there, the kid probably would have died from being punched constantly. And that was pretty much the end of that session. Well, no, it wasn't the end of that session. Leon had to leave after that. So what they did was Luck handcuffed him in the back of his truck, and they still drove to their mission. Well, the kid was like completely knocked out, like he wasn't moving. So they made it to the They made it to the storage area, and what had happened was they were raiding everything. They got some really good loot from it, but they didn't know that it was actually a gang headquarters, which I was surprised they didn't realize it was some sort of something of importance, because there was a bunch of weapons and shit in those storage units. So out of nowhere, like 8 gang members pull up in like sports cars and like a truck and shit like that. And Dustin, being the random character that he is, Luck, having the random character that he has, is, he has an LMG. And he shot these LMGs. He shot his LMG, I should say, not these LMGs. He didn't shoot 2 LMGs at once, but he shot his LMG at them, and he hit nothing but their left legs. Like, there was not a single thing he hit besides the left legs. And even before that, there was another thing that happened in a bar while they were all chilling there. There was like a bar fight that happened between like raiders and shit, like not raiders, but like people who were trying to steal shit from the bar. I hit my microphone again. But people who were trying to steal shit from the bar. And he hit nothing but their left legs. Like the next 2 sessions, he hit nothing but left legs, and so he took out everybody's left legs pretty much. And with 4 grenades, just 4, they managed to take out just all 8 members. And it was a really random session, I can say that. And so they continued to loot everything. And Luck his character actually found a set of keys that belonged to a car, and this car was in a separate storage unit. And once he opened it, this is where the second inside joke came in, because I said it was a economy car, and I said that it was a Prius, and that it was like a Kia Prius or whatever. And they're like, I don't think Priuses are made by Kia. I think they're made by Chevy. And I'm like, so it's a Kia Chevy Prius, or a Chevy Kia Prius, or something like that. And that's like the second inside joke. Now every economy car they find is a Kia Chevy Prius. So they have a Kia Chevy Prius, and they were totally against taking it, but Luck decided he wanted to tow it in the back of his truck. And that's where they threw all of the shit that they had in there and whatnot. But the kid was still knocked out in the back of his truck. So that happened. Like, it was just it was like one of the quickest combats I've ever seen. Like, the quickest group combat I've ever seen in my life, probably. But what happened afterwards was there's this group called the Convoy. And the Convoy is pretty much... The Convoy's like... a 2 to 3 mile wide like line of semi trucks and regular pickup trucks. Some people with sports cars, like just this giant, massive single file line of just shit that people found and are selling. And so the convoy was heading to Kohlberg as one of their stops. And so what had happened was Luck's truck was going much slower than Preston Ortiz motorcycles, since he was carrying so much shit and towing a car, and they just left him. So he was like 4 or 5 miles behind them at all times. So he was like 20 miles behind them at all times. So they made it back to Kohlberg a lot sooner than he did. But Luck actually ran into the convoy, and he started to realize that, oh shit, the convoy's here. There's a lot of people, and I have this kid handcuffed in the back of my truck. What the fuck am I gonna do? Luckily, the head of the convoy didn't see it, and they gave him like safe passage all the way to They protected him all the way to Kohlberg, and that's when they sold all of their shit, made a fuck ton of money. They actually sold the car to the mayor's office, and they got a good bit of money from it. But once they got back, they had like all of this shit in their house. They had like a lot of furniture in the back. They had like a training yard, and it was really fucking weird. Well, I wouldn't say weird, but it was really cool. And now they like now everybody lives in that house. Like all their allies live in that house. Like they came across like one of the head guards. The head guard was actually saved from that house, and now the head guard lives there as an ally. Vlad's character, who is a Russian, his character's Russian. He lives. Any of the players who aren't able to show up to sessions, their characters are in that house just chilling. And yeah, it's like Fallout 4, where you can just like send your companions to a certain settlement, and then that's where they chill out until you go and grab them. But yeah, that's like one of the randoms. That's like the first 2 sessions that happened. And it was random. I mean, I'm not the best storytelling, but this was like a year ago, and like the stuff's like really vague, but I still do remember most of it. But if I was to tell the entire session, like if I was to tell you guys like the entire session, I would be here for like 4 hours. So I really don't want to do that. But yeah, before I let you guys go, I wanted to say 2 things. One, the announcement video that I made, like 2 or 3 days ago, that said I would be doing a 12-hour recording and possibly a live stream. I was not able to do the live stream because my computer was not good enough, and I made it 4 hours into the record. I made it like 4 or 5 hours into that 12-hour recording, until my computer just completely shit out on me. Like, I was playing because Luck had messaged me asking me, because he messaged me what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm recording. He's like, well, do you want me? I can hop on and play with you if you want. I'm like, sure, because I was getting ready to play Terraria at the time. So I was going to hop onto Terraria, and as Steam was updating, my computer just completely fucked me over, and it just shut down, and it basically crashed. So now I'm recording this off of my desktop, because if you guys don't know now, I use a laptop to record most of my videos. So yeah, it'll be a little while until I get that fixed. But good thing is my desktop still works, so I can still do some recording. Cause I still got all this fucking software in here from when I used it like before I got my laptop. Cause I got my laptop back in November, and I never took the time. No one else in my family took the time. Me or everyone else in my family never took the time to like clear all my shit off of this. So I've still got a lot of recording software on here. I've got a lot of video still on here that I'm going to try and transfer over to my laptop whenever I get it fixed, so that way I don't lose them. And also, before I go, I want to thank you guys so much for the support lately. Like, my subscriber count has jumped. Like, I was at, like, 153. No, I was at, like, 155 Monday of last week, and now I'm at 163. Like, you guys are fucking amazing. And please continue to subscribe if you haven't. Like the videos, share the videos, post as many comments as you want. Just actually don't spam it, anything. But, like, give me some stuff to do. And, like, just overall, give me some great support, because you guys have been extremely supportive as of late. And I can't thank you guys enough. Also, if you have not followed anything of social media wise from me, you can go ahead and check all that stuff down below. News, like I said before, I will be launching an Instagram account soon. I've got to get some stuff worked out from that, not because it's hard to create an Instagram account, but I have never used Instagram, and this is going to be my first time using Instagram. I know it's not complicated, but I just never used Instagram before, so. And I'm also lazy I'm also really lazy, so yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Post in the comments if you guys want to see more. Also, if you are from any of my game groups, whether it be from my Deadlands campaign, the Deadlands game group that I play in, or the D&D group that I play in online, post in the comments below what stories you want me to tell. Also, post in the comments below if you guys want to see me read any modules off, because I can definitely find them if you guys want me to read them. So, yeah, without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is, as always, Cool Man Majama, and I'll see you guys later. Stay cool, Jammers. See ya!